Hey, coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Not a lot of years in which the U.S. produced 5 different dimes, but this is one of the years, and I think the only one. 1996, and we have the Philadelphia way over here to the right, the Denver here for the D. We have the clad San Francisco Mint coin right here. The W, the West Point coin from the uncirculated mint sets, and then we have the silver from the silver mint set W San Francisco Mint here. So we have 5 different ones. Let's talk about them and talk about how we got here, and let's talk about this one too. We'll kind of talk about how there had never ever been a West Point dime before, and let's just talk about that as we kind of go through the history. So let's start with the history. Well, the dime in 1945 was the Mercury Dime. You can see the 1945 down here. This is one's a little worn. In God We Trust under Mercury's chin. It's not really Mercury, right? It's Lady Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap. Kind of Lady Liberty dressed up as Mercury. It says Liberty around the top here. And you look for the mint mark and you're not going to see it because the mint mark is back here. So it says United States of America around the top there, 1 dime at the bottom. E pluribus unum is here. There's the fasces with the olive branch around it. And then right down here is the D. There were 3 mint marks in 1945. The D for Denver, the S, and the no mint mark. I guess there were 2 mint marks and a no mint mark in 1945. In 1945, San Francisco Mint was a regular producing mint. It wasn't a specialty mint. In fact, it produced coins for other countries like Australia and the Philippines, I believe. All right, so let's look at the dimes from. And then came Roosevelt in 1946. So in 1945, Roosevelt died. In 1946, they came out with the Roosevelt dime. If we look at it, we see this is a very worn one. Again, there's a reason that we took the worn one here, and that's because of the mint mark on the back. There's no mint mark on the front of the 1946 coins. It does say In God We Trust under Roosevelt's chin. We see that it is a 90% silver, just as the 1945 Mercury was. And then we get back and we see there's an S on here. These are really hard to find, so I just wanted to show you a 1946 S. The first year they put out the Franklin Delano Roosevelt dime. From 1946 until 1964, they stayed the same. Then in 1965, they decided to change it and make it into a clad dime. So it's a copper nickel clad copper. There are 118 of these reeds that go around the outside. You can see the copper on the inside. And on the back, same as all Roosevelt dimes, it says United States of America, E pluribus unum across the middle, 1 dime here. You can see this is not going to be a full bands version. And we'll show you a full bands version, but essentially what you do is you look at this torch. You also look at the fire on the top of the torch, and that's how you determine the quality of these coins frequently. On the left is an olive sprig with 2 olives on it. On the right is a maple sprig with at least 2 acorns on it. So that was 1965. It stayed right up the same until 1996 when these coins came out. It had not changed at all. In 1996, they said, let's do something special. Let's put a coin out from the West Point Mint, but in order to make it really collectible or valuable, let's only put it in the uncirculated mint sets. And that's what this one is here. Just a sweet one. It's in a little plastic package in the 1996 uncirculated mint sets. If you do buy a 1996 uncirculated mint set, make sure that they haven't taken out the W or the West Point penny. So the West Point mint, we've seen it used a few times since 1996. In fact, they put out a general circulation coin from West Point, as many of you know. Same thing, Liberty at the top, In God We Trust, W. There's a J and an S there for John Sinek, and this is also on all of the coins. John Cynic was the original engraver of these coins. The West Point Mint coin was a clad coin. It came in a set with all the Phillies, all the Denvers. And when we get to the back of this one, we see it's okay. This is not what I would consider a full bands version, or a good one anyway. The flame is there. The lines here between the bottom bands are not so great. The bands going down are pretty good. So remember, this is an uncirculated coin, but it looks pretty darn good once you look at that W on the front, doesn't it? I mean, that's just great to have. And the W is kind of fun. Let's see how the W kind of swings out. It kind of has these wings on it, like it's a flying kind of W. Nice coin. At the West Point Mint, they made 1.5 million of these, essentially. It's listed at anywhere between $11 and $20, depending on what book you look into. What else did they make that year? Well, I said they made the silver coins. So they came out with a silver mint set in 1996, and they made 830,000 of them. This silver dime here, if at a proof 65, because these are proof coins when they're with the San Francisco Mint now, at a proof 65. Oh, I got the wrong one. It's this one. How could I tell? Well, I got two S's, right? I should be able to tell the difference, and usually you can. And I don't know whether I just looked at it wrong, but this is a silver one, of course. Look at that. Same 118 reads, but there's the other San Francisco one. We see that that's the copper nickel clad copper. So the silver one here, they made 830,000. The copper nickel clad copper one here, they made about 2 million. The silver one is worth probably somewhere around $7 to $10 at proof 65. The copper nickel clad copper one is worth somewhere around $350 at MS 65. And then, of course, we had the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint in 1996 made 1.4 billion. There's plenty around. And the Denver Mint in 1996 made 1.4 billion. These are worth $3 to $5 at MS 65. Let's see how the bands look on the back of these ones. Well, not too bad. Probably as good as the West Point Mint for that one. No. Yeah, that one's okay. How about the back of the San Francisco coins? Because these are proof coins. Well, that's what it would look like. It wouldn't pop off the coin like this because the San Francisco mints have a special polish, but it would look something like this with the separation between the bands, separation between the bands, really nice lines in the flame, and lines all the way down through. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.